All right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out this new comic book Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. Sorry this came to you guys a bit late. I normally come out on Monday nights with the show, but this past weekend was kind of packed. I had my son's swim meet, his football playoffs were on Sunday. I just bought a new car that I also had to bring back in so they can do some cosmetic touch-ups before giving it back to me. So I'm dealing with that. And meanwhile, after doing my whatnot show while packaging up all the things to go out, I knocked my mic off of my desk here and I broke it. So I broke the connector. Don't know how to do all that technological stuff. Like metal pieces were falling out of where it plugs in. So I figured, it scrapped. It did its job. So I had to get a new mic. So hopefully this is working out well for us. And I decided to go with the blue this time, for the channel colors. Yeah. Anyway, all of that nonsense aside, if you want to see this week's rundown of books, I got you covered. It is a light week, it being the fifth week of the month, so the show might actually be quicker than normal. So with that, just hang in for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so this week I'm going to try out a new segment. Just felt like it's time that we've been seeing many more of these, like each and every week, all of these secret drops and one per store releases. I figured, you know what? Let's give it its own category so we can just cover them as a group because they are not always related to a book that's coming out this week. Like this week, we have the case where we have a couple of ash cans that were released early. So there's no new number one or new issue, whatever, of said title that we can tie it to and cover it there. So Secret Drops is going to be a segment. As often as we get them, we will have the segment. So, just like everything else, I'll work it in where we need to. But with that said, this week, as I mentioned, apart from San Diego Comic-Con, which had a lot of exclusives and a lot of things given away there, these are not to be confused with those because I believe both of these also had ash cans released at the con. These are not those. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 3 foil ash can that was given, I think, one per store, one per account. I'm not going to hem and haw about the difference between the two things. I mean, some shops might get more than one, but based on their accounts and who they're ordering from. But with that said, still something to keep an eye on, as this is already selling pretty well. I think this is doing like 20 to 30 bucks here or there for this foil ash can. I think it is a full size comic and not like a mini size thing, so keep that in mind as well. This is one that we got this week as far as a one per store ash can to give away, as we also got this one out of Image for Skinbreaker. This is the next Robert Kirkman vehicle to be worked with David Finch. Looks pretty cool. Looking forward to it. I don't know exactly what it's all going to be about. Seems some sort of a alien barbarian warrior type thing. I don't know. I'm curious enough. But it's not coming out for a couple of months, actually, the actual title. But here we are with the ash can leading us in here with one per store. Like I said, there is an ash can for this particular book, also with San Diego Comic-Con, but we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the one that is at your LCS that they got a copy. Whether you got the relationship to be able to get that copy off their hands, whether they're going to sell it or whatever, this one is doing a bit more. I saw some hitting as high as 60 bucks here or there, so 50 and 60 on the high end, but it'll probably come back down a little bit more in that same kind of $30 kind of range that a lot of these one per stores kind of start out at. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, maybe there's a little more heat behind this one, than we might expect. Not sure. But those are two secret drops to keep an eye out for when you go to your shop this week. Now, with that said, we can move on to the top of the stack. Those top of the pile books for me that I can't wait to get a hold of tomorrow to crack them open and read them. So this is my top of the stack, my top of the pile type stuff. May differ for yours, but I'm going to cover these first because, like I said, I'm personally looking forward to them a lot. Albeit a mixture of, I really enjoyed the Fantastic Four movie this weekend. I liked it just as I like Superman. I don't think we have to put them head to head and argue over which one's better or which one. They can both be good. They can both be bad, but I honestly believe both of these movies were good and I enjoyed them both. I don't know if you had to make me decide. I don't want to have to decide. I can like both, in my opinion. So I'm going to like both and not tell you which one I think is better because I don't want to compare the two. With that said, I also like this solo series for The Thing. Our friend Tony Fleece is writing it. I gave it a little bit of a benefit of the doubt for that reason, but I am actually enjoying this. I am not a Fantastic Four reader usually. I'm not a Fantastic Four viewer usually. I mean, those Tim Story movies from back in the day were okay, but I always was a little upset with how they handled the Silver Surfer the first time around. I'm not going to get into a movie review today and tell you what I thought about this Silver Surfer, but I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. I thought I was really going to dislike it, but I didn't hate it. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay? So with that said, I am looking forward to reading the next issue of Thing. Again, it's a mixture of I've enjoyed the series so far, and I'm currently in an FF mode because I just saw in the movie. We got a couple of covers here. Cover A. We got a cover B also, as well as a 1 in 25 option if you want to go the incentive route. I don't believe these are doing anything early on the market with pre-sales, so if you want to find it, you can probably find it for under ratio anywhere. So, on top of this, also at Marvel this week, this cover just kind of caught my eye, and I honestly kind of want more. More on the Disney Plus side of things. Like, I really wish we get more special presentations. I know we're getting one with the Punisher this year, but I kind of I kind of wish there were more of these. I don't need everything to be a series. I don't need to have a 12 episode show or 6 episode show, miniseries, whatever. Give me short content. Give me one-offs. I don't care. Like that Werewolf by Night that we got I guess it was 2 Halloweens ago now. I really enjoyed that. And this is written by the same person who worked on that storyline. So giving us a comic, Werewolf by Night, Blood Moon Rise, I think is a one-shot that we're getting here. It could be the start of a mini. I'm not sure if it's a mini or if it's a one-shot, but I like this Kirkman cover. And I think it'd be interesting to see more on the horror side of things. Also, I think I'm kind of biased by some of the horror comics I've been reading from the indies, all those anthologies, etc. So horror's really kind of creeping back up into my reading habits lately. So I'm kind of into this. So I'm looking forward to this new #1 for Blood Moon Rise. This is the cover A. There is this is the design cover for the TV things. I'm not a big fan of these covers. Like I always say, these can just go in some sort of book, collection edition of the Art of Marvel Studios. Fine. And then I'll end up getting it from Christmas from, the $5 discount at Barnes & Noble where they put them up front and just blow it out because nobody's buying these. I don't know, but whatever. There's the B cover, and there's a C cover option here as well. No incentives to worry about, so pick the one that you like. I like the Kirkman personally, though this last one isn't bad. It's a little more exaggerated. I'm just going to go with the Kirkman. With that said, let's go to DC and start to get, I guess, a little bit more of a lead-in to our huge DC event that we're going to be getting this fall. So outside of Marvel giving us that big X event with Age of Revelation, DC is kind of countering it with their KO thing here with, their whole big Dark Side event. So it looks like we might be getting a little bit of a special here with Dark Tomorrow leading into that. Kind of curious. So I'm going to pick this up and check it out. So this is following up that We Are Yesterday time travel-y story that ran through Justice League Unlimited and I think Batman, Superman, World's Finest. I think it was in those 2 titles. But following up on that, they're leaning into the big event. We got Booster Gold, kind of trapped in the future, etc. We'll see where this is going. Curious, like I said. So we got a cover A option here. Cover B, not bad. Cover C, also available here if you want to go that route. I'm guessing this is a new Blue Beetle. I can't remember, of all of the new characters and weird characters they introduced. It's all that timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, Edge of Spider-Verse type of stuff. We're getting all sorts of characters created these days, and it's hard to keep up with all of them. But with that said, we've also got this option here, and I believe there is one incentive, a 1 in 25 that you could pick up if you want. I'm probably just going to get the cover A and be done with it, because like I said, I just want to read it. I'm not too concerned, and despite the fact that, yes, the one female cover, the one sexy girl cover you can go and chase, yeah, it's not bad, but I don't know if it's worth an extra $1 to me, so I'm just fine just getting the A. With that said, moving on over to indies. Just enjoying reading these titles. We are soon to be wrapping up, or we actually are wrapping up You'll Do Bad Things. So between this and that other the Rosenberg title, I can't think of the title right now. It's just the one with the scientist on the island and the little girl, the robots. Thoroughly enjoyed that, but also enjoyed this. You'll Do Bad Things. So I'm happy to see this coming. Well, I'm not happy to see it coming to an end, but excited to see the finale here. With that said, we got a cover A. We got a cover B. I think Tyler Boss working on this, and Boss and Rosenberg have been working on a lot of things, and I'll get into more of that in a second. But You'll Do Bad Things. We got an A, we got a B, and there is a 1 in 10 option if you want to go that route here too. Like I said, pretty cool story. I'm in to see how this wraps up. And with that, the last one again, I'm biased. I know not everybody out there enjoys Mega Man as much as I do, but I'm a big Mega Man fan. I love the games growing up. They were my favorite. And as far as the character goes, I'm still on board. I don't know. Mega Man X timelines. So this is the next like one shot we're getting where they're kind of jumping around with different Mega Mans. I think the last one was just a regular Mega Man. Now we got Mega Man X, and we got a couple more, I think, on the way. Here we go with this one shot, multiple covers. I believe I ordered them all because, again, I like Mega Man, and I'm one of those OCD collectors sometimes with certain things. So cover A, there is a B. There is a C, which is like a design cover. It's kind of cool, kind of like this one. There is a blank mixed in as well. And there is also a 1 in 5. So, yeah, 5 different covers. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I ordered all of them through my DCBS pre-order. But you pay like half off a cover, so I really only bought it twice. In my mind, I paid twice. But I get 4 covers out of it. Well, technically 5, not counting the incentive. Incentive was a little different. But with that said, that's the top of the pile type stuff for me this week. It is a light week. Like I said, week 5, we're not getting a lot of ongoings continued, like DC in particular. They're just doing like their annuals and one shots and specials and stuff like that. Usually you may get 1 or 2 titles there that they release, a new release, but same thing with Marvel, not a lot, but there is still plenty on my pull list to go to. So let's get to that next and show you what else I'm picking up. Apart from those 5 titles, I'm getting a few more. So we'll go back to DC. I'm just continuing to pick up the Long Halloween. Yes, super long title, but I mean, it's classic stuff. I mean, you can't go wrong with Loeb, right? So I'm still getting this. Going to see this through to the end. So issue 8 of 10. We're almost at the end. So here we go. Issue 8, cover A. Not bad. Cover B, pretty solid as well. I think that's a Becky Cloonan on the second one. I'm good for either of these, actually. They're kind of 50-50. The third option isn't bad, but I kind of like the Grundy. I don't know. This is more of a classic-y kind of a Art Deco kind of vibe, but I don't know. I like the Grundys. So I'm probably going to go with one of those 2. No incentive to worry about. So pick the one that you like and be done with it. Next. I think this is wrapping up this series at this time. Maybe there's one more issue, but we're talking about Assorted Crisis Events number 5. That kind of, it is sort of like an anthology, time travel-y, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly type of thing, but I've been enjoying it. So issue 5 coming out. Plus, they've occasionally had some good covers. This one's all right as far as the cover A goes. I like the whole maze idea. Cover B is kind of fun. Gives you almost like a Where's Waldo kind of a vibe. But I really do like the 1 in 25. I don't think I'm going to go and pay 1 in 25 type prices for it. But it's just something about it with the clocks and how it's all put together with all the clocks. It just really caught my eye, and I just keep going back to look at it. So actually, if I could find this cheap enough, I might grab one. But normally, I don't go and buy incentives all the time, but I do kind of like this one. I don't know, something about it. It's different. And again, in a light week, there's not only a light amount of books, there's a light amount of options as far as cool covers go, as you'll see as we go through the rest of the show. But this is one of the variants I did like. Now, moving on, we're getting the second issue of News from the Fallout. So, pretty cool, different with the art style and all that stuff, but I kind of liked it. Looking forward to a little bit more of this. So issue 2 coming out. There is a second print. We'll get to that later. So if you need to play catch up, you will have that option when you go to your shop. But we got 2 cover options here for the new release issue 2. So you can go with the, the photo negative vibe kind of vampire teeth, or you can go with the gas mask diner. Your choice. No choice on the next book, as there's only 1 cover and 1 option for The Pale Knight issue 3. Also, just enjoying this tale, like the plague from back in the day. I like it. So I'm going to get issue 3 and continue reading this story. But again, no worry about covers. It's just this one. So if you want it, you got to get this one, which is not bad to begin with. So that's good. Moving on. Speaking of covers, you got a lot of options here for your Mark Spears Monsters number 6. Yes, we are actually coming near the end of this first arc or first storyline that he originally started way back with his Kickstarter, way back in the day. But issue 6 here, if I were still doing it, this would have been a contender for Nutshot of the Week. But try to save some time. Got to cut some of the silly stuff out sometimes, unless it's really egregious. But this would have been a contender. Just saying. This is the cover A. We got a pretty cool mummy cover here on the B. Not bad. We've got that Vampirilla crossover with monsters happening here. I forgot why the monsters were on the Vampy book like a week or two ago. It was for this crossover cover event, if you will. Thanks to whoever reminded me of that. But here's the Vampy side of things. And yes, there is the regular cover version of it that's $6. You can get a foil version of it that I think is like $20 or something like that. And if you want to pay even more, there's a metal version of it that's like $100. So up to you if you want to go and get those special shiny editions of this cover, which is nice, but they are pretty pricey. Just putting that out there. And speaking of pricey, there is a 1 in 50 foil as well, featuring the witch here, which is pretty cool. But everything's got that green vibe. It's just green across the board on these issue 6s. So pick the one that you like and move on, I guess. And that's what we'll do here with Ultimate Spider-Man number 19. We got news that the team, the creative team of Hickman and Chiquetto, I don't know if I'm saying it right, they'll be wrapping up their run with issue 24. So 2 years worth of books, 2 years worth of stories. Unfortunately, it'll be coming to an end. New writer will be coming on board. So the title is not ending, but the initial creator arc will be ending there. So kind of sad news, but we are starting that first arc, or we're moving towards the end here with issue 19. We're only 5 issues away, so it's on its way, the end. But here we go. All Out War, Fisk, Mr. Negative, Mysterio. Cool. Cover A. I've been getting these since the beginning, so I'm gonna get this most likely. But I do really enjoy these MJ covers where she's just like out and about doing New York life type stuff, getting a cup of coffee, hanging out in the coffee house or whatever. I don't know why I like them, but I do. This is not the best of the bunch, but I've enjoyed them all, so I like this. And I'm probably going to have to get this too. But with that, this is a Gerard Perel, I believe. You do have a Trad Moore option as well, but I'm not as big a fan on this. I don't think Spidey is the right character for Moore style. I get it with the kind of bendy thing, but this is weird bendy. Like the bendy surfer is one thing. You got cosmic rays and vibes. That's one thing. But that ankle and the way his toe is pointed like ballerina style, it just looked weird and awkward to me. So not as much of a fan on the Spidey personally. But hey, everybody's got their own tastes. But that's an option as well if you like it. And there's a 1 in 25 too. If you want to go that way with the whole family there, beachside. I don't know. Is it me or did little Richard Parker like grow up really fast, like it seems in this series? Because I mean, he's a Spider-Man all of his own. But yeah, here's what it is. But that's not it. We also do have a 1 in 100, which is, yes, a virgin version of that little coffee shop diner scene here of MJ. So pick that up, if you will. Not a lot of action yet, but it's one of those things that could take off, especially on a slow week. Something might stand out from the crowd. Not sure yet. But with that said, that's my pull list, which, as you can see, has been lighter than the last couple of weeks. Thankfully, I get a break. But I mentioned Whatnot earlier because that's when I broke my mic, when I was packaging up all of those Whatnot sales that I had this past weekend. But we're not done. I'll find my way back there soon. I still got another FF box that I never got around to opening, so I don't know if I can do that this week or not, but we'll see. With that said, if you haven't tried Whatnot yet, use my link down below to sign up. Get yourself a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You can spend it wherever you like. It's $15 off your first purchase just for giving the app a try. So you really got nothing to lose there. Moving on, blind picks. So I debated whether to even do a blind pick this week, but I thought, you know what? There is something out there that I'm thinking is going to be pretty good. Again, I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse here a little bit because I have no idea what to expect from this book. It's just I'm interested in getting it. I'm hoping it's going to be good, but for some reason I feel like it's going to be all right. I feel like we'll be all right in telling you guys it'll be solid. So the book I'm talking about is a new Image release, new #1, I, Tyrant. Now, I'm going to read you the synopsis, and I'm not backing this because of the synopsis, because if you can make sense of what I'm about to say, please explain it to me down below. That said, 300 and Birdman's magical realism clash when Zahak, a legend with a stark depiction of tyrants. So I'm already confused there. Like, all right, so are we talking about 300 and Birdman, the Michael Keaton movie? Or are we talking about Harvey Birdman? I'm unclear. Secondly, a legend with a stark depiction of tyrants. Is a legend a person? Like, is he a legend or is this a legend? I'm not sure. Proposes that Hafez toss out his unpromising myth's conclusion. Yeah, I didn't read that sentence all in one because I had a hard time getting through it even in chunks. I have no idea what any of that means. Hafez must retell it with the Kirby Exodus for Zahak. Kirby Exodus. To give his tale a Miller reboot. Frank Miller? In the comics industry. Creation myths need a devil. That's the only bit I understood. And on that, I'm going to check this out. But otherwise...
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
I don't know what the hell that means. Now, multiple covers here, and they're pretty solid. This is a Jason Shawn Alexander, I believe, on the cover A. We got some other options here. We got a B. I think this is going to be a connecting cover set. We've also got a blank and a 1 in 10 by Federici, I think. I really like this 1 in 10. It's just got a cool vibe. I just wish the trade dress didn't obscure the face up at the top so much, but, you know, it kind of ruins the art a bit. Could have shifted things or moved. I don't know. I do like it, though. And with that, there's a 1 in 25, which isn't bad. And we do have a 1 in 50, which is a callback to Frank Miller's Legend of the Dark, Dark Knight #2 with Batman taking a crap on a cover. Now we got this tyrant character, I guess, or myth character. Oh, this is Hafez or Zahak or Miller or the Kirby Exodus. I don't know what the hell it was saying. But this guy taking a dump on the cover, sure. If you want to go that route with the 1 in 50, you can do that. There is also a 1 in 100 that shows this guy in a puffy jacket, which now really confuses me because I'm seeing like we've got all these warriors and weird creature things, and now we just got a dude who looks like he's just, taking a stroll outside in the winter. I don't know. With that said, I'm still thinking this is going to be good. I don't know why. My gut is telling me this is going to be an interesting read. So I'm picking this up, and this will be my blind pick for this week. Now, what I'm not sure about, so I'm going to take my taste test for this week. I'm going to go check out something else that I think that I'm going to like, but I'm not sure. I mentioned earlier about Tyler Boss and Matthew Rosenberg working together because, they have over time, and we had all those, Rosenberg titles from before. We had the long titles. Always got long titles. Like, what was the one with the two girls from back of the day? I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Moving on. What's the furthest place from here? This is already issue 22. Didn't realize it's been going this long. But you know what? I feel like I need to take a dip in this pool because I've liked the things they've worked on outside of this, so why not give this a try? Because I haven't yet. So I'm going to go give this a try. Even at issue 22, to see if I need to go back to the beginning and give this thing a read. We got to cover A. We got to cover B. I don't know. I'm going to give it a look-see and see what it's all about. So that's just for me, giving myself something new to read, especially on a lighter week. I can throw in an extra title like this just to give it a try. But with that said, supplies. Any of you out there, you need supplies. Your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, top loaders, for your pages for your cards, top loaders for your cards, any of your collectible stuff. Basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You could probably find something over at BCW, and you can save 10% off your entire order by using my code RENA10. So just type in RENA10 when you check out, get 10% off the whole order. You help out the channel. You get yourself a discount. You got nothing to lose when you got to buy that stuff that you hate buying anyway. Supplies. It's just one of those extra expenses. As a collector, we all got to deal with. So when you can save money, do it. That's my motto. Whether you use my code or not, go save yourself some money. But with that said, Renna10 will get you 10% off. Moving on to the books and storylines coming out this week, let's take a look at where we are dragging our feet through One World Under Doom. This thing is running into the fall, so we've got plenty more to go. I think we're in the 60s as far as tie-in issue goes and including core issues, and it's going to keep growing from there. This has got to be one of the largest events with tie-ins that I can remember in some time that didn't have like Age of Apocalypse is different. There was like 12 different titles. Same thing we're going to get with Age of Revelation. They're like new titles that are starting all as minis. We're not even counting that. This is just random titles having tie-ins and weird new number ones here and there. It's all over the place. But One World Under Doom has one book this week. Only one. But Gods. Because apparently we got to know where these Gods characters have been. I completely forgot about them. You remember that miniseries? They were the next big thing. And then what happened to them? Now we got to have them mix it up with Doom, I guess. Sure. So One World Under Doom is bringing in Gods. And I'm sorry, this is the variant cover. Even says it right there on the cover. But the cover A, you pick and choose which one you like better. I mean, really go whichever way you like. Yeah, so it's just A and a B. $5 a piece, so pick which one you prefer. If you even want to get this. With that said, we're still doing the Bring on the Bad Guys, because that ongoing series of one-shots is still continuing to follow Sister Sorrow and the MacGuffin knives of whatever. I don't know. I'm not really keeping up on this, but we are getting a new installment this week. I mean, we had Abomination, we had Green Goblin. Was that it so far? Regardless, our next one is Loki. So we're getting Loki this week. So who gets the last laugh? Part 4 of 7. So there we go. This is part 4 of 7. We still got 3 more to go, one-shot wise. But here we go with Loki. Pretty cool cover here. The B, maybe not so much. Looks like a Doctor Who episode. Not in a bad way. It's just, I don't know. I'm just not loving that cover as much. I'm tired of doing these iconic variant editions by Todd Nauck. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Todd Nauck. I'm just over covering these, and I'm not even doing this segment anymore. It's not getting its own category. These covers just get mixed in with the rest because I'm just bored by them. And there's so many of them, I just don't care. Again, that's just me. Sorry. Speeding things up. We're just going to throw them in the pile. No more separate shout-outs for these. But we will have a Miguel Mercado, which is kind of cool, except that is a weird pose Loki's got going there. I don't know what he's doing there. He's got a little swish in his hips, and he's doing like a claw thing with his hand. I don't know. It's an interesting look from my man Loki there with his bedazzled little glitter things going on there. Cool. And then we got a Sister Sorrow cover because we've had a pile of these for each. Well, we've not a pile, but we've had one of these for each of these one-shots. And they keep putting her name on the cover so you're not confused of who this is. But with that, those are all the open order covers. We do have a 1 in 25, which is yet another Enough Said homage. This time Thor and Loki doing the whole Hulk thing face-off. So, okay. We'll keep this going. I think this is going to go the whole run, I'm assuming. So it is what it is. And then we will take a 1 in 50 virgin version of that Sister Sorrow cover as we've gone par for the course of all the other one-shots that they've done. Cool. Going over to DC now. Gotham City Sirens. While One World Under Doom seems to be dragging its feet for a year-long storyline that's just chapter after chapter, thankfully, I think we're getting the finale here of this Gotham City Sirens all in a month. All of these stories in a month. So they basically paused Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley for a month, and then gave us this title, 5 issues, 1 per week, and it's wrapping up here. So, Gotham City Sirens, Unfit for Orbit, issue 5. I think this is the finale. We're going to have the same covers that we had before. So, we got the Dodson on the A. You got the Nubovich on the B, which also, like this, kind of fun. You got the punk rock. You got the rooster style there on Harley. It's kind of a fun look. And then we've got the Gilliam March connecting set. So you got Gilliam March's connecting set on the trade dress, as well as a shiny foil version of that same cover. You can connect both of them, and let's just run through all 5 real quick while we have them here. So that's issue 5, and then we'll look at last week's issue with Ivy, and then we had Despero or whatever there, and then we've got Harley, and we'll keep it moving, and you'll see as it all connects up. Pretty cool connecting cover set, I guess. All of them kind of dancing in some space club. Well, the story's about, I guess. So there you go. Not surprised. But with that is our connecting cover sets for this title. And we got a 1 in 25 to throw in there as well. So finishing up these beautifully filigreed, decorative frame covers, we have, again, the trio, the triumvirate, one more time on this 1 in 25. They each got a spotlight. Then we had the trio last issue. Now we got the trio again on the 5th and final issue. Cool. It is what it is. Now, I haven't had this segment, I don't think, in a couple of weeks, but there is a book that I'm on the fence about. I read the first 2 issues. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stick with it, but these covers keep making me want to buy the title just for the cover, while the story is not as engaging, but the covers keep making me buy. So that's why I'm on the fence here about this title at issue 3, Vision and Scarlet Witch. So not a big Vision and Scarlet Witch comic reader. I enjoyed the show, WandaVision. I'm looking forward to Vision Quest when it comes out on Disney+. But I do like these covers. You got a Daughterman here. Not bad. We've got a pretty solid option here. I forget, was this Lyrics? I think it's Lyrics Lee doing this one, or Leslie Lee on this B cover. That's really nice. There is also a 1 in 25 by DeMeo, which is also pretty solid. And then we'll just make a 1 in 100 version of the Lee. And yeah, all those covers are pretty good, and which is making it hard to just drop the title completely. But again, stories, you got the Grim Reaper. Kind of fun to see the Grim Reaper again. But again, I'm just not 100% on board, so I'm on the fence. We'll see. But with that said, let's look at everything else on the rack that I didn't already cover here. They're not on my pull list, etc. But let's look at some of the other books out on the rack this week that you might be interested in that we should also be paying attention to. Or let's just take a look to see what else is out there this week. So for on the rack this week, we do have a number of books. Not as big a pile as we've had the last few weeks, because like I said, it's a light week. So let's start in with a title I probably should have been getting, but I just, early on, I said, you know what? I'm just going to sit this mini out. And that is Sonic and DC. I don't know, at the time, I was like, I just had to try to make some budget cuts and trim that down. So we're wrapping it up here, issue 5 of 5. It's finally coming to an end. Maybe I'll get this in trade. I don't know. I do like some of those second prints they've released, but issue 5, Sonic and Hedgehog, coming to a conclusion. You got an A cover and you got a B cover, and those are your choices. That's it. Moving on. Flash. So Flash is coming out this week. So you got Bad Moon Rising Part 5. Again, I'm not keeping up with Flash. I tried dipping a toe in a few issues ago, like 20 or 19, I can't remember, and I just decided Spurrier run. I just had no idea what was going on. Maybe one of these days I'll dip back into Flash, but for now, I'm sitting Flash out. You guys let me know if it's getting good or if I need to go back or where is a good jumping on point, because like I said, I tried jumping in and I was like in the deep end of the pool and didn't know how to swim, or my hands were tied. I didn't know what the hell was going on. That's all I'm saying. Cover A. We got a B cover here. Solid, classic Flash look. It reminds me of the Rebirth cover. Remember that? How long ago was that now? But we got that. And we've also got a C cover option as well. As are these a callback? Because that looks like a callback to Rebirth as well. Maybe. I don't know. Just looking at the covers, because like I said, I'm not reading it. This feels like a Rebirth throwback. But those are your options, though. Those 3. Open order, no incentives, so pick whichever one you like. Now, I mentioned Nightwing and jumping back in on Nightwing and trying to get back on board. That's fine, but I've also said I'm not a fan of annuals. And here we have an annual for Nightwing. I just feel like you're just trying to, bilk another $6 out of my wallet. I just usually don't care. The stories don't usually have any lasting effects. It's just like an extra bit that seems unnecessary, but then the collector in me needs it for the run, and I don't know. But here we go. We are getting an annual. I'm probably sitting this one out personally, but it's out there if you're really a big fan. So Nightwing, Sins of the Past, 2025 annual is coming out. Titans, they also have an annual coming out this week. I mean, it's kind of cool. Phil Jimenez is coming back on the title to give us a Donna Troy story. I mean, how often do we get a Donna Troy story? Not too often. And maybe I kind of want to check this out because I do like the covers here. We got a cover A. The B isn't bad. And then we do have a really cool Joelle Jones with the different looks of Donna Troy throughout the year. I always like when they do that. So that's kind of fun too. But at the same time, I don't know if I need this. We'll see. This is going to be like an impulse thing, which is why it's on the rack for now. Maybe I'll pull one off because, like I said, I like this cover. I'm kind of curious to give it a read. Maybe I should have put this in on the fence. Fair point to myself. Maybe I should have put it there. But with that, Lucky Devils. So the follow-up to 8 Billion Genies just didn't grab me. I know a lot of folks like it. The first issue was kind of interesting, but I really didn't join up for more. And apart from that, it's been how long since we had an issue? It feels like I don't remember when the last issue came out, but we're only at issue 4, and this thing, it seems like it's years old already. That's a title, I'm saying. But issue 4, Charles Soule and Ryan Brown continuing their story. Yeah, if you're still on board, issue 4 is coming out, and you've got 2 cover options, an A and a B. So let me know how it goes, because like I said, I dipped out, I think after 2 or at 2, just because it just didn't hook me. That's all. With that said, Hulk, which is again a title I feel like I want to keep getting back on board with, but it just, I don't know. Because I really like the start, like for a good chunk of a couple story arcs. I was up for Philip Kennedy Johnson's take, like the horror, darker aspects, and then I just kind of lost momentum personally. So I keep thinking of going back. Not sure when a good time is, but this apparently, with Banner separated and all that stuff, and apparently Hulk's on his own again, so we got no sidekick running around. But we'll see. Issue 27 is coming out. Pretty cool cover, eh? Not bad. The B, seeing the 2, I mean, it's kind of nasty when you really look at it, but it's a pretty cool cover. And I really like the 1 in 25. It is a callback, throwback to those, iconic Hulk covers of past. We've seen this done before, but, when Atlas shrugged, I guess. Issue 27, 1 in 25. I think that one is, who did this? It's not Bermejo. I can't think of the artist now off the top of my head, but doesn't matter. It's a cool 1 in 25. And let's keep rolling to what's next. Oh, geez. Spider-Man and Wolverine, Into the Savage Land. Again, just one of those titles I didn't ask for. I don't really need, so I get it. They could be fun. I just can't do everything. You get it, right? I mean, we all can't buy everything. So this is one I just really didn't jump on board for. And I like, Carrie Andrews. I like that 90s kind of style he's kind of bringing back with the amped up McFarlane-esque kind of thing, but with his own flair. Like Carrie Andrews does have his own flair with it. It just really does give me those 90s vibes. But issue 3, there's a Panosian, which normally would make my lists as far as covers go, but I don't love this one. And yeah, it's a brown suit Wolverine, which I do like. The brown suit Wolverine. You got a grave. He's digging himself out. It's just, And I get it. It's after Zek. They're doing the homage there. It's just, I don't know. It's not hitting for me. I think it's also tied in with the idea of these mashup titles, or let's throw a couple characters together and just sell some books. But I do like the 1 in 25, oddly enough. The Stephanie Hans, I think this is a Hans. Yeah, Stephanie Hans, I just kind of like this with the dinosaur in the background and the 2 flying on a pterodactyl or whatever the hell this is. I don't know. This one I kind of like. And then there is a 1 in 50. If you want to go that route, there is a 1 in 50 as well. But that one doesn't hit as well as the 1 in 25 to me. And then finally, we got The Ultimates. It's, again, another title. I jumped off board a while ago. I just couldn't keep up with everything. I am kind of interested when they always do the new characters and they rework them in a new universe. I'm always mildly interested, and I'm like, "Ooh, what are they going to do with the Vision and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver here? I don't know. Are they going to do a different take?" I'm still trying to watch the taste out of what they did with the last Ultimates run with the 2 of them, being a little bit, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But with that said, issue 14 is coming out. I'm curious to go back in, but I don't know. We'll see. Cover A, pretty solid. Cover B here. Even though, I'm trying to figure out Quicksilver's hair there. That's an interesting look. It's like a helmet. Is it? It's got a little afro going. I don't know. It's different. Different look for him. And then we got a C cover here, as well as a 1 in 25, if you want to go that route. So there you go. Ultimates, issue 14. With that, let's get to new number ones and see what we got new this week. I've already covered a couple of things here and there. We've still got a few more options, though, for you new series collectors looking for something new to read. And this month, or this week, at the end of the month, we got a couple things. DC's throwing out some specials. So if you got an extra $10 in your pocket and you want to see some California love, okay, there you go. I don't know if I want to spend $10 on this personally, but I'm kind of curious with this Hollywood star. So I don't know, but $10, that's a pretty tall order there, Nordberg. Cover A, we've got a couple of, and there's more text to explain the whole thing. Superman, Lois, Kaiju. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what weirdness is going to come out of this? But we got decent Supergirl cover, I guess, her hanging at the beach. And we got a Power Girl to try to sell this as well. But again, $10, that's a steep price. Just saying. Moving on. Godzilla versus America continues with now Godzilla taking on Boston. So we'll see what other U.S. cities Godzilla is going to attack. I think we got Chicago done already. Did we do New York? I'm not sure. But here we go. Godzilla versus Boston. We got the cover A. We've also got a cover B option here. And then we do have some incentives where the it's going to be a black and white version. So the 1 in 25 is a black and white version of the cover B there. And then we can go back, and then the cover A in black and white is also the 1 in 15. So, you know how it goes these days. This is what they've been doing. All publishers. I'm not going to point out any one. Just going to sell you some black and whites if they can. Or some virgins. We'll take the trade dress off. We'll take some of the color out. We'll give you less and charge you more, even though they're not the ones charging the price. With that, Monster High. I don't know. Apparently, there's something coming with Monster High. I think it's being adapted or something, but it's starting to gain some traction, and they keep making more and more books. I know IDW has lost most of its IPs, but they are pushing Monster High pretty strongly. So here we have another one, World Scare. You got a little selfie cover going. A lot of text here. I'm not going to bother covering any of that. You can read it if you like. But we do have, again, it's not a bad cover, eh? We got a cover B option here as well. I mean, maybe they're just trying to bank on the success of Wednesday, which is coming back soon too. And then we got a 1 in 10. So, I don't know. They're out there if you want to give them a shot. Also, Far Cry. One of my favorite video game series. Again, I don't know. It's one of those series I play every installment. Assassin's Creed, Far Cry's. I play them all every time a new one comes out. And here we got a comic that's tying in as a prequel to, I forget which Far Cry this one. It was one with the bad guy had the pink suit. He was on the cover. It wasn't the last one. It was like 2 or 3 ago. I think it was before the one in Montana, or was it after the one? Point being, comic, video game. I'm kind of curious because I like video games. And I'm kind of curious when they do adaptations to games I like. So I might try to take a look at this. We'll see. Impulse. But with that, guess what else they're bringing back this week? If you guessed Speed Racer and Chim Chim, you'd be right. Because, yes, Mad Cave is bringing Speed Racer back to comics here. So, yeah, a lot of covers, too. We got A's. We got B's. Like the classic poster kind of vibe there. You got a blank mixed in as well. We got Racer X there on an option. We've got another one here. If you want to go this way, 80s vibes with that cityscape. I believe I've used this similar-ish background on many a show. And then we've got this one here. If you want to go with another one, another option. And then we got some incentives as we got a 1 in 10. This kind of looks like Outrun. Remember that old game, Outrun? I'm getting the vibe there. Or was it Malibu? Something? Anyway, 1 in 20 as well. So you also got a 1 in 20. Who knows? These things could take off. There are a lot of fans of the original series and the original, Speed Racer, etc. Who knows what could happen? I'm probably sitting it out though, personally. But who knows what will happen? I struggled with where to put this next bit because this next bit is sort of a reprint, but a comic all its own. So this is taking the 3-part story from Hello Darkness 1 through 3 that Garth Ennis had done, and now it's being published as like a one-shot or whatever. Okay. So there you go. Call it whatever you want. But this is a new number 1 coming out with a cover A option. We got a cover B option there. Kind of fun. And we do have a cover C by Tula Lotte. And then we will get many variations of all of these Virgin versions. I believe this is on the unlockable, so it is an open order if your shop met certain criteria. There will also be a 1 in 10 option here of this one, but without the trade dress there. Wait, are you gonna go? Okay, I gotta do it. There we go. Take that trade dress away. Oh, I'm sorry, because I did it for both. Because the other one is also the 1 in 20. So the 1 in 10 and the 1 in 20 are those B and C covers, but Virgin versions. As I mentioned, you take away some stuff, and now it costs more. And then, for fun, let's just throw a 1 in 25 option out there for you, too. So here you go. There is a 1 in 25 that you can get, and you can cheers to that. Oh, look at that. I still got some Gatorade left. Throat's getting dry anyway. But we're coming near the end here. Not only of the number ones, but of the show in and of itself. So I'm tired of these Disney things, but there are more coming. What if Goofy became Spider-Man? I personally don't care, but I guess we can have a comic for it. If you do, fine. I'm not going to judge you. It's just, I don't need this. Or all these covers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scotty Young's kind of fun, but that's 5. And then, well, shits and giggles, let's make a 1 in 100 out of this. They probably should have made the 1 in 100 the Scotty Young and not the Noto. But hey, what do I know? Here's another case where they take those digital comics and they apparently just decide to print them and then charge you a bunch for them. So here we go. Savage Wolverine. They're leveraging that title that we haven't seen in a while now. But here is a one-shot. Witness this action-packed horror infinity comic for the first time in print. So again, this is one of those digital comics that now they're printing and going to charge you $7 for it. 56 pages, mind you, but still $7. 2 covers. You got an A, and you got a Clayton Crane here on the beat. I'd forgotten that J. Michael Straczynski was still doing these weird Spider-Man verses or whatever, or not Spider-Man, but these mix-up, mash-up versus titles. But this doesn't seem that weird, apart from the fact that it's a Sinister 16 or whatever. It's something I'm just not going to read. This is just on the shelf too, but it's a new number 1. Cover A, if you want it. I do like this Doc Ock cover here. I do like this one, but still probably not going to get it. And then there's another option here. Don't like the Noto as much as the last one, but pick which one you like if you want. And then we do have, I'm surprised it's coming to an end, the finale. High Republic. Wow. I mean, to be fair, I took a seat a while ago. I just couldn't keep up with the wallet or with the reading time. Just admitting it. But we're getting the finale, High Republic here. So I'm kind of curious. It's like, a show you don't watch, but it's the series finale. My wife loves watching those. It's like the series finale. She likes watching those final episodes. Even if she had no ties or real history with the show, she likes watching the finales. Similar case here. I'm kind of curious of where this ends up. But we have this one shot coming with a cover A by Noto. We got this. Now I guess we're starting now. 10th anniversary, or I'm sorry. Really? 20 years? It's been 20 years since Revenge of the Sith. Jesus, I'm getting old. So 20 years since Revenge of the Sith. Whew. Anyway, we're getting 10 covers there. And then we've got another open order option here. And then I think we've got a 1 in 25. So, again, pick whichever one you like. I'm still kind of stuck on it's been 20 years since Revenge of the Sith. And, again, I'm feeling my age. With that, also feeling its age, Facsimiles. So, we don't have a lot here. Apparently, we're getting a reissue of one that came out a little while ago. Apparently, there was some sort of mistake. I don't know what the mistake was. But the Adventure Comics, this will not be polybagged because you can't win tickets to see Superman now, the premiere, because, well, it's past. But here you go. You can still get that Adventure Comics first crypto facsimile if you want it. But it's not going to be polybagged. And then we also have Superman number 1. And this will be kind of a big boy, a little oversized, and they'll charge you a few extra bucks for it. Regular cover version, there'll be a blank cover as well as a foil version. I didn't make it all shiny looking, but you get the point. It will be shiny foil. If you, for whatever reason, need a Superman 1 facsimile in foil. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of putting foil on the facsimiles. Personally, it's like I don't know. It's like you're messing with a classic. You know what I mean? It's just like, don't do that. I don't know. It's like you're going to take like a Model T and put racing stripes on it. It just doesn't fit. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. Later prints. So with the later prints, we have a lot, actually, this week. I'm going to go through them pretty quickly because there are a lot of them. And we don't really have to spend a lot of time. You know what they are. They're later printings. They're reissues that you can get. If you missed out the first time, you can get these. Like this. Exquisite Corpses. A third print. Third bite at the apple. If that's issue 1. If you missed issue 2, here's your second print option. And they do have a polybagged black and white version. This time, however, it's not a 1 in 10, but I do believe it does come with another card if you want this one. But it's like $6 or $7 or something. But it's not a 1 in 10. So keep that in mind. We also got G.I. Joe, number 7. We got Beachhead here. Pretty cool cover with Beachhead on the second print. And then we gotta have the opposite side. So with these second prints out of Skybound and the Energon universe, you got to have a Joe, you got to have a Cobra, you got to have an Autobot, you got to have a Decepticon, you got to have I can't remember the 2 names of the Void Rivals sides of things, but point being, you got to have 2. Come in pairs. With that, Lost Fantasy still trying to sell you these old PlayStation game homages. So this looks like Metal Gear. Cool, but I kind of lost it with this title. I got to read more than just issue 1, but yeah, this is issue 2. Being reprinted here. I don't know. It just wasn't what I expected. With that, I mentioned Lucky Devils. It's been a while, but issue 3 to play catch up, you can get that if you need it. Same with News from the Fallout. If you missed the first issue of that, you can catch up here with the second print when you read your issue 2. Marvel's giving us a bunch of stuff with 1 in 25s as well. So you got Emma Frost White Queen, second print. It's just the Nakayama cover again. And then they took one of the other covers, and I think this might have been the foil. Now it's got no foil, and it's the 1 in 25 version. Giant size Amazing Spider-Man number 1, just recolored trade dress, redone. So they've even gotten lazier there with these second prints now. They're not even giving us anything different or interior art or nothing. Just recolor the trade dress at this point, and then take a cover, which I did like, but we'll make it a virgin, and that will be the 1 in 25. I do like it. It is pretty cool, but I'm not paying that price for it. Godzilla versus Avengers. Again, just recolor the trade dress on the cover A, and then we'll take the foil, but remove the foil, and that'll be the 1 in 25. I do like this cover. I liked it when it came out. I didn't really want the foil. Now I kind of want this one, but I don't want to pay second print 1 in 25 prices. But I do like the cover. Okazaki, I believe, did this one. I dig it. I did like this cover the first time, Jeff the Landshark, but I'm not a big Jeff the Landshark guy. But Ricky Yagawa got the second print cover duty here. It is a cover that was released already, just redone with recolors, and then they made a black and white version this time of one of the other covers for the second print 1 in 25. One more, but no, it is not a second print. This is a third print. So here we have Predator versus Spider-Man number 1. Again, good read. I like this. I like this storyline. I like this issue in particular. Third print. Okay, cool. In case you missed it, there you go. I don't know why we need another 1 in 25, but here we go. We got another one. So now we got a second print 1 in 25. Here's a third print 1 in 25 for this issue. Cool. Get it if you like. Retrovision. Marvel's Retrovision covers. We did them all. There's only one left. Finishing out the run, one title, one more cover to finish it out for the month of July, and that cover is The Incredible Hulk, done by Eric Larson. It's been a while since I've seen Larson do something outside of, Savage Dragon, but yeah, I also like the distressing here that they add. Look, it's even got a rip, and you got some folding there, with the pages being folded over. I like it. It looks like it's got a subscription crease or a back pocket crease, whatever you want to consider it. It's kind of fun. But that is the last one for that run of Retrovision variants. So they're all done. I already did the short for this last week, so they're all covered, including that one was already in there. Cheesecake. So we come near the end. Cheesecake covers this week. We have a few. Not a ton, but we do have a few. Mostly from the usual suspects that we put in this category. You know what we're talking about. You got your Titan books and you got your Zenoscopes. But here we have Image's answer to those, some of those covers. We have Gehenna, Naked Aggression. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. But here we go. Cover A. We've got a cover B that's, it's the camel toe cover of the week, I guess. And then we've got an option, which I didn't want to do it wasn't a 1-for-1 match. But this is the not suitable for work polybag version. So you can guess what's underneath that big heart. But you've got that too. And there is a 1 in 10 if you want to go that route, which is not very cheesecakey at all. Interesting. But don't worry. Grim Fairy Tales has you covered. We'll go back to Zenoscope. You've got your Snow White with her flaming sword. We got the two walking down the yellow brick road there. That's fun, right? Or just, we can always just go with Dorothy. Yeah, I know. In part, it's like, oh, these cool covers, but at the same time, they also are a little weird, make you feel a little strange about sexualizing Dorothy that much, or at least I do. But it is what it is, you know. So issue 98, we've got that royal cover, which again, it's pretty cool. And I don't know who this is supposed to be, but I guess it's the White Witch. Maybe is it Glenda? Is it Glenda the Good Witch? Maybe, I guess. That's Josh Burns doing that one. And then we'll go back to that royal, and the 1 in 20 will make it a little bit more inappropriate. And yeah, it'll cost a bit more too. So there you go. Zenoscope's also giving us their swimsuit edition. So their swimsuit special for 2025. Encelado giving us the cover A, which is pretty solid. You got a B option here, which is meh. C also for me, meh. I like the Encelado at the best. And then we have a fourth option here. And again, I'm going to say the Encelado is the best one of the bunch. But that's my opinion. And here's the title. I just, for whatever, Heat Seeker. I couldn't think of the title, and I knew it was coming up. And I'm like, the image title is like, it's like their answer to let's just throw some TNA on some covers and see what we can do. But yeah, so Heat Seeker still rolling. I'm not giving you all of these anymore. I'm going to give you all the different covers, but I'm going to treat these like Dynamite because they're doing way too many foils and virgin versions like Dynamite. So I'm done. Cover A, you got a cover B, both pretty good. And yes, as you might guess, there are virgin versions and shiny foil versions of both of those. You got this one open as well. And then you have a cosplay version. But basically, the A and B are reworked a few different ways to make them virgins and foil versions and foil without the trade dress, with the trade dress. Multiple copies. And I'm not showing you them all. You get the gist. With that, let's get on to the regular covers for the week that I just like. And again, not that many. Just a small handful of stuff that didn't fit anywhere else. That I just think the covers deserve a shout out. And Mark Spears doing another one. I like it. The AF-15 kind of vibe. Pretty cool with Space Ghost and Johnny Quest. So Space Ghost holding Johnny Quest, done by Spears. Also a contender for, I guess, Nutshot. I could have had this battling the other Spears cover for Nutshot of the week. And then we do have this Middleton cover too for the same title. Middleton doing this. Oh, I forgot to get rid of that transition. But issue 3 of this title that, again, I'm not picking this up personally, but all right. I mean, it is what it is. I just wish Josh Middleton got more work beyond this. Just haven't seen him do anything in a while. Like on the big 2, I miss him as an artist. Like I love that that back row run he had. The new we go way back. There's a lot of good cover runs Middleton has, and I just kind of miss seeing his work on some of the bigger titles because I don't really like this. For me, it's just not my title. But I wanted to call it out because it is Middleton. Here we go. We got a Kale Nigu. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Medieval Spawn, usually a solid covers. I'm just covering the one this time out, but there are 2. This one stood out to me better than the other, so I put this one here. And then finally, this is just a pretty good 1 in 25. Incentive-wise, Sonic, but notice what I just said. It's a Sonic 1 in 25. Issue 80, sort of a round number, I guess, but it's not a 1 in 10. And that's usually what we've seen. And we've seen some of these 1 in 10s from this Sonic run do some ridiculous things as far as prices go. So this is a 1 in 25. And I think a lot of people are putting the cart before the horse and thinking this is going to be some huge deal and are paying a big premium for it already. So keep an eye on it. But I don't know. I don't know what the print run is currently on Sonic these days. Just saying, it's now 1 in 25. And a lot of people are banking on this being really hard to find and very expensive. So they're already paying a premium for it. But be careful when you do that. With that said, it is a cool shadow cover. And with that said, we just have the best of the week to cover. And these are my favorite ones of the week. My favorite covers. And with that, I'm going to give you my favorite variant. And then my favorite regular open order cover. I've shown you both already. So you've seen them already in the show, But just to point out again, in case it wasn't clear the first time around, on a very weak week, as far as variants go, this one just had me going back. I had to keep looking at it. So this 1 in 25 for Assorted Crisis Events, number 5, this Alvaro Martinez Bueno. It's Bueno, I guess. I like it. I don't know. It's a pretty cool design. It just has me keep looking back at it. And I could have went with the Virgin version of this cover for it, but the Gerard Perel MJ is probably my favorite regular cover of the week. Again, it was kind of a tough week to pick a favorite. And again, this isn't my favorite MJ doing MJ things, but for this week, it's the winner for me. And with that, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We wrapped it up just about an hour. I know I said it was going to be a shorter show, but I guess I just rambled and chattered on longer than I needed to. But even with all that said, I do want to thank you for all the support and for checking out all the shows here on the channel. Still plenty more coming your way. Again, sorry this show was late today. Should have come out last night. But like I said, I had to get a whole new mic. I had to get a lot of stuff done. And I still have a lot of stuff to do before this summer's out. But pretty soon, we'll be back on track and back to normal with a regular schedule. Still plenty of good shows and plenty of good content coming your way. So hopefully you're on board for it. And I'll see you all later. All right?